Right now, whispers are flying faster than truth. Rooms fall silent when your name is mentioned. Eyes shift. Energy changes. Because the gossip on you isn't about failure anymore. It's about fear. They're saying, don't mess with that one. They're too smart. And they're right. But not in the way they think. What they call intelligence is actually divine awareness. You see what others pretend not to notice. You decode people's motives before they even open their mouths. You've become unpredictable, and that scares them. But here's the hidden danger. When your light gets that bright, the shadows start talking. Fake friends become reporters. Silent watchers become storytellers. You're not in a rumor. You're in a revelation. Because the universe just confirmed what they've been whispering. You are a walking signal of divine intelligence. And heaven is about to make that public. They think they're gossiping about you, but in reality, they're advertising your power. They're unknowingly spreading your prophecy. Every word spoken in envy is turning into evidence of your rise. Every lie becomes the headline that will backfire in your favor. You've probably noticed it lately. The strange looks, the random questions, the way people seem to study you like you're under investigation. And that's because you are, but not by man, by heaven. Your intelligence has reached the point where you can't hide anymore. Even your silence speaks louder than their gossip. Even your calm looks like confrontation to those living in chaos. Something about you triggers exposure. Your energy is like truth serum. It forces masks to fall off, forces liars to reveal themselves, forces manipulators to panic. And that's exactly why the gossip started, because they can't outsmart what's already protected by divine strategy. So let them talk, because while they're busy building stories, God is building your stage. The same voices that mocked you will one day say, "We always knew they were different." And that's the plot twist they'll never see coming. You weren't sent here to blend in. You were sent here to break patterns. You're not intimidating, you're enlightening. And that's the real reason they're afraid. Have you felt that energy lately? People studying you like you're under spiritual investigation? Comment, "They're watching me for a reason," because this isn't gossip anymore. This is confirmation that your divine intelligence is about to flip every narrative in your favor. The moment your spiritual intelligence rises, so does the volume of whispers. You didn't change, your frequency did. And when you vibrate higher, everyone who can't rise with you starts to talk about you. That's how it always begins. Not with confrontation, but with quiet confusion. People start sensing something about you they can't explain. They feel it when you walk into the room. They feel the calm confidence that makes them question their own chaos. They can't label it, so they gossip about it. That's what happens when spiritual power meets emotional immaturity. Curiosity turns into jealousy. They don't hate you because they know you. They hate you because they can't read you. You don't move like them. You don't react like them. You don't need their validation. And in a world addicted to attention, your silence is rebellion. But here's the twist. Those same people who said you were crazy, too deep, or hard to understand are now secretly watching your every move, copying your energy, your language, your rhythm. They're pretending not to notice you while using your very essence as their inspiration. You see, when divine intelligence lives inside you, people can't categorize it. They either fear it or try to imitate it. You've probably felt it before. Someone who once dismissed you suddenly trying to sound like you, dress like you, post like you. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. You were the blueprint the whole time. They thought they were ignoring you, but they were studying you. They thought you were irrelevant, but you were actually the reference point. Let's be honest. You've walked through seasons where people treated you like you were invisible. They talked over you, laughed at your ideas, rolled their eyes at your vision. But then something shifted. You stopped chasing validation and started listening to your intuition. And once that inner switch flipped, so did their perception. The same mouths that mocked your insight started repeating your wisdom. The same ones who called you too intense are now calling you for advice. Why? Because they finally realized your intelligence wasn't arrogance. It was prophecy. You were speaking from awareness they hadn't reached yet, But here's the twist. When you glow differently, people think it's magic. They don't see the nights you spent doubting yourself. They only see the strength you gained after surviving their betrayal. They gossip about your rise but never mention the pain that built it. And that's what makes you dangerous. Not your intelligence alone, but your ability to stay humble while being highly aware. You don't need to announce who you are. Your energy already did that. That's why the gossip doesn't stop. Because deep down, they know you see everything. They know you can read motives behind smiles. They know you sense lies before they're spoken. You're not paranoid, you're perceptive, and that terrifies those who live by manipulation. They can't outsmart someone protected by divine strategy. They can't trick someone who's already decoded every emotional pattern. You're not in competition with them. You're in communication with God. That's a level they'll never understand. So when you hear your name floating in conversations you never joined, smile, because your presence has entered spaces your feet haven't. And that's how chosen energy moves, quietly but powerfully. If this sounds like your story, comment, "They tried to play me, but I'm 5 steps ahead." Because every whisper about you is proof that your intelligence is louder than their lies. And the universe is just getting started with your revelation. You've probably noticed this strange pattern. The higher your peace climbs, the louder the gossip gets. It's not coincidence, it's calibration. See, gossip isn't random noise. It's a test of your emotional control, a test to see if you'll trade your peace for their projection. And when God promotes your spirit, the first exam you face is usually called the psychological trap. It starts subtle. People begin pretending they don't see your glow anymore. They scroll past your wins but secretly save your posts. They act uninterested while stalking your every update. They mimic your style but never mention your name. That's not ignorance. That's obsession dressed up as indifference. But here's the truth few ever see. The moment your intelligence becomes intimidating, people stop trying to compete with you publicly and start trying to confuse you privately. They'll throw shade disguised as jokes. They'll ask innocent questions loaded with envy. They'll talk around you, hoping you'll shrink just enough to make them comfortable again. But here's the twist. Every lie they spread becomes free marketing for your next breakthrough. They call it gossip, but heaven calls it reputation training. Because God lets your name circulate long before your crown is visible. It's how He conditions your mind for recognition before He gives you responsibility. You think they're mocking you, but they're unknowingly spreading your prophecy. Every rumor is rehearsal for your public relevance. Every whisper is a trailer for your next chapter. Understand this. When you carry rare awareness, you trigger collective insecurity. Your calm exposes their chaos. Your focus highlights their distractions. Your intelligence reminds them of everything they still refuse to heal. That's why gossip hurts. Not because it's true, but because it's proof you've outgrown the version of yourself they were comfortable controlling. And here's where most people fail the test. They react. They try to explain, defend, clap back. They get trapped in the same frequency they were chosen to rise above. But not you. You're learning to let silence do the talking. You've realized emotional control is spiritual warfare. When you don't respond, the rumor dies from starvation. But here's the twist. What they think is your silence is actually God rewriting your story behind the scenes. He's not ignoring the gossip. He's using it. Every false headline becomes fuel for divine promotion. Every person who laughed will one day quote you for inspiration. That's how spiritual balance works. The same mouth that cursed your name will confess your greatness when the prophecy unfolds. The longer they talk, the more energy they give to your destiny. They're literally helping heaven market your purpose. You didn't lose control, you learned control. You didn't lose friends, you outgrew followers. You didn't lose your voice, you learned when to use it. So if you're feeling the pressure, remember, this isn't a punishment, it's preparation. Because the spotlight always tests the soul before it blesses it. The gossip isn't the problem. Your reaction is the battlefield. And you've already won, because peace is the loudest clapback. Comment below. They tried to break me with gossip, but I turned it into growth. Because you're not fighting rumors anymore. You're mastering reputation training. And the next phase of your story? When the gossip runs out of lies, truth walks in wearing your crown. You've heard people call you smart before, but lately it feels different. It's not just intellect anymore. It's instinct. It's not logic. It's download. This isn't about IQ. It's about divine strategy. Your intelligence isn't something you learned. It's something heaven built into your spirit. That's why you can walk into a room and feel energy before anyone speaks. Why you can sense manipulation before a word is said. Why you can read a lie not from someone's mouth, but from their silence. They study books. You study souls. They gossip to understand you. You go silent to expose them. That's the difference between intellect and revelation. You don't just process information, you perceive intentions. You see patterns other people ignore. You connect dots others don't even know exist. That's divine intelligence, the kind that can't be taught, only activated. And when that activation hits, everything changes. Your conversations shift. You stop entertaining surface talk because your spirit is now tuned to depth. You stop chasing answers from people who don't even question themselves. And suddenly, the room feels smaller. People start saying, "You've changed." No, you just see clearer now. And that's what threatens them. Because the moment you start understanding the game, the players panic. But here's the twist. The same people who doubted your insight are now using your words to sound wise. They quote your silence. They mimic your calm. They pretend they knew it all along. But the truth is, your intelligence exposed their disguise. Your awareness removed their advantage. And now they can't play you because you already know the script. You've realized that spiritual intelligence doesn't argue. It observes. It doesn't chase validation. It reads vibration. It doesn't react. It reroutes. They thought your silence meant weakness. They didn't know silence was your surveillance. Every time you went quiet, you were collecting spiritual evidence. You were learning how people reveal themselves when they think you're not watching. And now, you're untouchable. Not because you fight back, but because you see through everything. You've become the one thing they can't predict. Stillness with strategy. Your mind is like divine radar. You sense betrayal before it happens. You catch energy shifts mid-sentence. That's not paranoia. That's prophecy. People will call you too deep because they're too shallow to swim in your awareness. They'll call you distant because you're no longer available for manipulation. They'll say you think you're better when really you've just learned better. But here's the twist. Every time they underestimate you, heaven upgrades your vision. Every time they lie on you, God rewrites the narrative. You don't have to defend your intelligence. Time will do that for you. And soon the same gossip that once tried to shrink your name will echo as proof of your insight. Because divine intelligence always wins. Quietly, then publicly. So keep decoding the silence. Keep trusting your instincts. Keep walking like you already know the truth. Because you do. Engagement, cue, comment. My silence is my power. If you're done explaining your intelligence to small minds. Because this is your era of revelation. You're not just smart, you're strategic by design. And heaven's about to show the world that your silence was never weakness. It was training for your takeover. Every story hits that moment, when the gossip stops echoing and the truth starts roaring. You've reached that point. The energy has flipped. The same people who laughed at your silence are now searching your name like a headline. Because the tables didn't just turn, they rotated with divine precision. The same rooms that whispered your downfall now echo your name with respect. The same voices that said, "You'll never make it," are now quoting your wisdom in group chats. And the best part, you didn't have to defend yourself. God did it for you. This is what divine intelligence always does. It lets the lie build the stage for the truth. You stayed calm. You stayed focused. You let them talk. And heaven used their gossip as free advertisement for your greatness. But here's the twist. Your intelligence didn't just protect you. It exposed their entire illusion. Every fake friend, every secret enemy, every manipulative hand that thought it was playing you has now been forced into the light. It's poetic, isn't it? How the same people who tried to bury your reputation ended up planting the seeds for your recognition. They thought they were canceling you, but they were actually crowning you. They thought they were silencing your story, but they were unknowingly writing your testimony. You see, when the divine steps in, justice doesn't knock. It announces itself. It enters through timing, through truth, through undeniable evidence. And now evidence is everywhere. The energy around you feels different because respect has replaced rumor. The ones who mocked are watching from the sidelines, speechless. The ones who left are crawling back, careful. That's how you know the reversal is real. You don't have to chase closure anymore. It's chasing you. You don't have to correct lies. The truth corrects itself. And every single loss is now showing up disguised as a lesson that made you legendary. They used to say, "You think you're better than us." Now they say, "We always knew you were special." But the truth? They just finally realized who they were gossiping about. A chosen mind designed to lead, not follow. But here's another twist. They're not just respecting you now. They're depending on you. The same ones who laughed are now asking for guidance. The same ones who doubted are now seeking your validation. The same ones who tried to destroy your image are using your words to fix their own. That's what happens when divine timing flips the narrative. You become the lesson. Your story turns into proof that gossip can't cancel God's plan. Every humiliation becomes a highlight. Every shadowed season becomes a spotlight moment. The reversal wasn't revenge, it was revelation. Because God never punishes by pain alone. He teaches by positioning. He put you where everyone could see, not to prove your worth, but to prove His hand was on you the whole time. And now you walk into rooms where silence used to greet you, and suddenly that same silence feels like respect. Your intelligence didn't just earn their attention, it rewired their perception. They don't see you as competition anymore. They see you as confirmation. Who else feels that shift already starting? Comment. They know I'm not to be played with. Because you've reached the justice stage of your story. The reversal is in motion. The whispers have turned into applause. And the universe is finally saying, now they'll understand why I told you to stay quiet. Urshi, chosen one, listen closely. This gossip isn't random. It's recognition in disguise. Heaven allowed your name to circulate not because you did something wrong, but because you were finally ready to be seen for who you truly are. For years you were hidden. You walked through seasons where your brilliance felt like a burden. People misread your silence as weakness, your calm as confusion, your depth as distance. But what they didn't know is that your mind was a weapon, one heaven forged in the quiet. Every season of isolation wasn't punishment, it was programming. God was uploading divine intelligence into you, line by line, lesson by lesson, heartbreak by heartbreak. You weren't being rejected, you were being rewired, and now that wiring is complete. Now every word you speak carries weight. Every silence you hold shakes rooms. Every observation you make exposes illusions. Your intelligence no longer intimidates heaven. It activates it. You're walking proof that intellect and intuition can merge into divine insight. You didn't just survive the rumor season, you mastered it. You learned to let people talk while you transformed. And that transformation has made you unrecognizable to those still pretending. But here's the final twist. They feared your intelligence because it mirrors their deception, and that mirror just shattered. Now every manipulator sees themselves reflected in the truth you carry. Every fake connection feels exposed in your presence. You don't even have to speak. Your energy now reveals the contrast between authenticity and illusion. Chosen one, you're entering an era where your intelligence will not intimidate, it will inspire. You were never meant to shrink your light so others could feel safe in their shadows. You were meant to show that spiritual awareness is not arrogance, it's alignment. That seeing through people doesn't mean judging them, it means discerning them. The same people who once said, "You think you're better than us," will soon admit, "You helped me see myself." Because what was once considered threatening is now transforming into guidance. Your awareness is the very thing this generation needs. Clarity wrapped in compassion. You didn't lose your mind, you found your higher one. You didn't lose friends, you lost distractions. You didn't lose peace, you graduated into discernment. And that's why the universe had to clear the noise. so you could finally hear your own wisdom echoing back. Every rumor, every rejection, every mislabeling was part of the prophecy. You weren't meant to prove your intelligence. You were meant to embody it. Because true genius doesn't demand validation. It creates vibration, and your vibration now carries authority. Feel it. The shift in the atmosphere when you enter a space. The way conversations shift tone around you. The way truth feels heavier when you're present. That's not ego. That's evidence that divine intelligence has taken its throne within you. So don't lower your frequency to make others comfortable. Don't explain your silence to those addicted to noise. Don't apologize for being ahead of your time, because prophets always sound confusing to people still living in their past. Your intelligence is your assignment. Your discernment is your defense. And your peace, that's your proof that you've already won. This is your public prophecy. From this moment forward, every word spoken against you becomes fuel for expansion. Every misunderstanding becomes a magnet for truth. And every time they speak your name, heaven adds another layer of favor. The season of hiding is over. The season of recognition has begun. And what once looked like gossip is about to sound like gospel. Final call to action. Comment, "I'm too intelligent for their trap," if you're claiming your divine upgrade. Like this video, share it with another chosen one, and subscribe, because the next prophecy reveals the 3 days after exposure, when your hidden power goes public. Remember, chosen one, you were never being watched because you were weak. You were being studied because you were strategic. And now the same intelligence they feared will become the wisdom that saves them. Your silence was your setup. Your discernment was your defense. And your next chapter? It's pure revelation, written by heaven, performed by you. I with a heart and a star.